So, Jupiter opposite Pluto. Firstly, this happens about every 13 years. Sometime between 12 and 14 years on a regular cycle. So it's not uncommon. What is uncommon is that the Uranus-Neptune angles to Jupiter and Pluto are as precise as the Jupiter-Pluto opposition. This is what makes this a once in a millennia standalone phenomena. But make no mistake, Jupiter-Pluto is the engine room and the firing mechanism of this lineup. Jupiter brings growth and expansion, optimism, hope, humour, excess, over the top, larger than life, mountains made out of molehills, things blown out of all proportion. Pluto brings crises, trauma, obsessive, compulsive, intense and extreme behaviour with manipulative and coercive tendencies. But it also brings transformation, regeneration, rebirth with phoenix rising, caterpillar into butterfly and snake shedding skin. Pluto in Aquarius is kind of, in a compelling, almost forceful way, transforming society's view of itself, regenerating a rebirth of the desire for a more communal and socially integrated world. It's detoxing, cleansing and purging the poisons that have infiltrated our society for a very, very long time and making them bringing the poison to the surface. Jupiter in Leo is bombastic and loud, but it's also playful and creative. And Jupiter's amplifying Pluto at this time. So not only is the poison coming to the surface, but Jupiter's making it visible. All of the corruption, all of the lies, all of the manipulation perpetrated on humanity is becoming obvious now. Now, I don't want to make all leaders in the same light. There are some very, very good people out there who are doing their best to make the lives of people in their community as good as it can be. And there are also some demagogues who are full of themselves and want absolute power and control at all costs, even whilst they pay lip service to what they see as democracy. And now the bubble is bursting. The emperor has no clothes. We're seeing collectively the facade of the glamour. Beauty is skin deep. With Jupiter opposite Pluto, it is an explosive time. It's loud, bombastic, over the top, larger than life. And yes, with Jupiter trine Neptune and sextile Pluto, and Pluto trine Uranus and sextile Neptune, ameliorating the immediacy, the sharpness of Jupiter-Pluto. It is, to a minor degree, diluting the extremes of behaviour that Jupiter-Pluto can bring, collectively anyway. But you can be sure But in private, in our individual homes, in our individual communities, 2, 3, 4% of situations that are going on are not the way they're being presented. That there is coercive, manipulative, underhand tactics going on, and it's getting to the point of explosion. But there's a need for poison to be expelled. Otherwise it festers and it becomes ever more corrupt. It decays and rots not only the perpetrators and the owners of the poison, but the society it exists in. And we as a species will become decadent and corrupt. When there are difficult times, strong people come to the fore. And they help bring peaceful times. Peaceful times bring gentle people to the fore. And society decays. And then strong people rise. And we get problems. To find good, strong people who are not concerned around power, ego, money, control, but to find good, strong people who are altruistic, well, that's a lovely ideal. I know a number of people are talking about how children being born now with this pattern are going to be the biggest dictators, but also the biggest saviours of humanity. I disagree. That's too far in the future, and besides that, I'm old, I won't see it. I suggest it's the older teenagers, the people aged 16 to 22, 23, that generation at the moment, who are witnessing what's going on in the world as they enter their peer time. As they mature into adulthood, they are seeing the sickness of corruption that's endemic in our societies. And these are the people who are going to make the changes shortly. We're not going to have to wait 20 years for a peer group to rise. The peer group is here now. And the more the youth who are untainted by the corruption of their ancestors move into positions of responsibility and strength. So I think we'll see a better society for us all. And then we will look back and go, yeah, 2026, that's when it all changed. The lineup is here. Uranus, Neptune and Pluto are all within 5 minutes of 1 degree of each other as I speak. Jupiter's at 3.5 degrees, and it will be exact with Uranus, Neptune and Pluto over this coming weekend. The moon will pass at 4 degrees Libra, making 5 points of a 6-pointed star. Okay. That moment won't be the moment that things change. There may well be some rather startling news in the next few days. But I think the triggers for this are going to be the full moon on the 29th of this month at 6 degrees of Aquarius, conjunct Pluto, the same day that the Sun is conjunct Jupiter. That is amplification in a big way, bombastic. Read between the lines. And then there's the time, I think it's at the very start of October, when Mars moves at 4 degrees of Leo. Results are percolating now. Humanity's changing. Our species is changing. There's an evolution going on. And for all those who want things to stay the same, it's just not happening. And it's not happening the way that any of us predicted or forecasted or suggested or wanted. But it is happening. Look how you've changed. Look how your community's changed, your friendships. Look how your ideals and dreams, your attitudes, your skill sets. Look how we've evolved just in the last 20 years. Who had an email 30 years ago? Who had a website 25, 30 years ago? The internet is a great leveler, but the internet is just a start. We're heading into uncharted territory now. I find it really exciting because now that a lot of the dominator controls of recent times are becoming powerless, yes, it's a bit Wild West. It's scary, but it's also stimulating and exciting. And when the alternative is dystopia and a Judge Dredd style community where 98% of the people live in drudgery to serve the elite, then give me the choice of taking chances and even taking risks rather than servitude. Better to try and fail than not to try at all. These are magnificent times. It may seem like death, doom, disaster, trauma, crisis, but underneath it there's a rising of the spirit, of the human spirit that is unstoppable. And it's such a privilege to be alive at this time of evolution. Okay, I'm going to stop there while I'm ahead because I can feel the surge in me. I'm going to do a lot more on this over the next day or so. All right, catch you soon. Bye.